Hello everyone, my name is Brett Keane. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today I went into a stickam room. Anybody can go to stickam.com and they can go to Debate Faith, where many atheists and agnostics and theists usually tend to be at certain hours of the day. Well, when I went in there, it was about between 5 and 6 in the morning, and everybody was just kind of relaxing and waking up. There was a few people docked up where you could see their webcam and you could hear them having a conversation about evolution, genetics, the genome, as well as cloning. Everything was going pretty much as usual. In the morning, things are a little slow and people are talking science and shit like that, and just shooting the shit. Maybe somebody might mention what their favorite movie is, or what they do with their normal personal life as a hobby. What happened is we got this guy that came in, a young man, probably about 20, probably in his early 20s, had tattoos all over his body, a black t-shirt, and some rhetoric written on the front of it. Well, he basically decides to halt the conversation, and he says, hey, why are we talking about all this dumb shit for? Why are we talking about all this crap? Why aren't we doing something about the religions of the world that are, causing wars and destruction and death and shit like that? And he just went through a whole tirade of the things that he felt was wrong with religion and people who believe in God. His idea basically was that people who believe in this stuff are dangerous and they're psychotic and they need to be dealt with. He believed that atheism somehow was the police of the world, that because we were the complete opposite of religion, in which we lack a belief in deities, that this somehow means that our job as atheists is to attack and fight with religious people. He basically came in assuming that everybody in the chat room who was atheist or agnostic or non-believer wasn't doing anything, or wasn't trying to do a struggle or a fight to do anything about what's going on in the world. When in fact, there are a lot of atheists who band together, such as Atheist America, and many, many different sites you can see where atheism works its way into politics and policies, and also atheists have been known to get on television, even write wonderful novels such as Richard Dawkins, explaining their view and their position and also their distaste and disgust for religion. There is nowhere in the definition of atheism where atheists have to do any of this. There's nowhere in any books or stories where atheists have to sit there and go against religion. We are not a proponent or opponent or enemy of religion. However, for some reason, there are a lot of Christians, as well as many atheists that I've met in my personal life, who believe that we are exactly that we are supposed to be the destroyers, the people who are more evolved, the people who are more scientific, the people who are intellectuals. We are the Galileos of the world. This is not true. A lot of atheists are just normal, average people who watch movies, eat ice cream, take shits, go to sleep, go to work, pay bills, take care of their family just like anybody else. And it's sad to me. It's sad that there are actually atheists out there and religious people who somehow see themselves or see us as some kind of abominable force, like a fucking giant fireball coming into your cities and shit to wipe out anybody that's got a faith-based system or hope or belief. We simply lack a view. There are some of us that have been born in secular families who do not have any kind of experiences with religion. There are atheists who only know about religion from what they've heard from external sources outside of their own home and family, from what they've seen on TV or what they've read, such as on Wikipedia or through books or any kind of media this way. There are other atheists who have been raised in religious environments, hell, maybe even been religious themselves, like me, for instance, who have dealt with the anger and aggravation and the mind manipulation and the hard shit that goes on. I personally feel like I was brainwashed and manipulated into religion. Hold on a second. But what I do understand is that if I'm going to sit there and deal with religious people, I need to do it in a respectful manner. I cannot sit there and go out in the street with a fucking baseball bat and start swinging at people and tell them, you son of a bitches, you look at all the useless and horrible things that you've done in society and all this. I have to remember as an atheist that a lot of these people who believe what they believe probably have never even read the Bible. Most likely believe what they believe because they're afraid of death, and they're afraid of some of the things that they've been threatened about in religion. Not all these people who are religious are horrible, maniacal, child-molesting fucking warmongers. There's a lot of Christians out there who don't like the idea of war. There are a lot of Christians out there who are believing in charity, and they cherry-pick out of the Bible the good stuff that they like, and they live by it, such as do unto others you want done unto you, the philosophy that they believe that Jesus was teaching. Again, a lot of these people do not read the Old Testament. They don't read the parts where Jesus Christ said some pretty horrid, atrocious things. Even stored some concepts of bigotry. We cannot sit here and blame every religious person out there, and we cannot go to war with religious folks. This is not the idea. There's a couple reasons why. You can't change people's mind or sit there and be intellectual if you're attacking and insulting them physically and mentally. You have to earn their trust and their respect. You have to give them a reason. You have to sometimes help them understand, if you're the type of atheist who even wants to bother with religious folks, which you don't have to, but if you are that type of atheist, you have to earn a certain amount of respect in order to expect them to listen to you and be able to share ideas, and perhaps one of you converts in a situation. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is with every human being. It's the way it's always been. If you want to fucking break some eggs and shit like that, fine. But if you're actually wanting to make something out of the eggs and shit and actually make a decent meal out of it, then you're going to have to put forth a little bit of effort. It's easy to destroy. It's a challenge to create and actually be able to put the time in to do it. I find it commendable when atheists stand up for homosexual rights. I find it commendable that atheism debate the idea of abortion and all these different other topics and everything. I find it commendable that atheists stand up for each other and try to do things. However, I think it's very important, and I think that if religion did this as well, this could help them a great deal. We need to clean out our backyard. We need to make sure that the atheists that stand by our side understand completely what it is that they are believing in. Do you realize I've heard many people who claim that they are atheists, yet they'll turn around and say, I hate God. This is not what an atheist is. An atheist has no hate towards Allah, Yahweh, or any of the thousands of mythological characters that have been invented by men. We don't hate the God character or the Bible or any of that shit because we lack a belief in it. If you don't believe in something, there's no reason to have any hate or disgust towards it. Atheists need to learn how to speak properly whenever they talk about these things and say something like, I do not like the behaviors that I see with religious people. I do not like how some religious people have taken their belief system to the extreme and done harm to other theists as well as non-believers. This is the proper way to be able to handle the situation. There is no God responsible for all the devastation and destruction in this world. There is no Adam and Eve. There is no fucking biblical flood. There is no God who is doing plagues and diseases on us. This is the way life is. So if an atheist, you hear one saying something to the effect of they hate God or they're disgusted or whatever with a God, then there's something fucking wrong with their understanding of what an atheist is properly to be. So I tried to explain to Sinful Media that we're more than happy and we're open to having discussions and debates with theists. We're more than happy to hear their point of view as well as share our point of view. But what we're not willing to do is to sit there at 5 in the morning and fucking yell and yell and yell and bitch and bitch and bitch about religion and everything for a couple different reasons. One, there's no theist in the room to even debate with or discuss. So why are we going to preach to the choir for? That's lame. He has to realize, as many other people need to realize, that atheists, besides some atheists who are interested in going out and doing things like this, that we all have a life outside of our views about religion. So this is how I see it. This is how I feel. And I am one of those atheists who feel that we ought to band together and do something about the garbage that goes on in society. And I also believe that it's possible to work with some Christians on changing the way religion affects society. That's right. Because there are some Christians out there that I've met that have just as much aggravation about what other Christians do as a non-believer would, surprisingly. You've been listening to Brett Keane. I hope you all have a good day.